Did you get?
You want to hear a funny story about Pat Sajak?
Yeah.
One time I was on it. You know Henny Youngman,
Sure.
who ironically was an old man.
Yeah. Wasn't a young man at all.
He wasn't a young man.
He was a young man at one point.
At one point, when they named him, it made sense.
Just didn't change his name as he got older.
Yeah. So he's on the show, and so Pat Sajak had an idea every week he'd do all comedy, which is not a good idea, especially when you're the last guy. So Henny Youngman came out, right? And he's a great comedian, So he did his comedy. Then he goes over and he does the panel with Pat Sajak, right? Then halfway during the panel, he goes, I'd like to sing a song for the audience. It's a little song I made up, So Pat Sajak goes, sure, So he gets up and he walks over to the performing area, and he goes to step off the riser, and he trips. And I'm watching this backstage, and he starts falling. It looks like slow motion, really slow. And then, he's 80, and he goes down like face first, really, really hard on the floor. So they stop tape, and everybody's around, including Pat Sajak. It takes about a half hour to get him up. And he says, I want to continue. He's all blurry, But it's like the show must go on.
Right, sure.
You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Ridiculous, retarded maxim.
Yeah.
So he thought the show must go on. So now they restart it, and he's at the panel again. He's talking to Pat Sajak, and he's doing the same jokes and everything. And he goes, now I'd like to do a song. And then Pat Sajak goes, huh? And he gets up again, and he goes to step off the rise again. So Pat Sajak stops, and he goes, just do it here, So he starts playing his violin,
Yeah.
And he sings the song, and the song's all about how great it's not a funny song, it's all about how great the audience is. He goes, the audience is like butter crunch, they're the best. If there wasn't for them, So the house goes crazy because here he's, almost died, and now he's doing a song about how great the audience is. And then I have to go on next. So I'm like, oh my God, and they just go crazy for him. So then I go on, I bomb for 5 minutes, and then I walk over to the panel, and you know how panel on works. The guy's sitting on the chair, and then he has to move over to the couch, and then you sit on the chair, right?
Yeah.
But Henny Youngman at this point's half dead, sitting on the chair, right? So he ain't moving,
So you had to sit on the couch and
yeah.
talk
So I had to
over him.
climb over him
Yeah.
and sit on the couch. So now there's a 3-shot. Pat Sajak's interviewing me, and there's a dead guy in between us. So we're doing our pre-planned, stuff, and you got a dog, and I got a dog, and all this stuff, And meanwhile, there's just a dead guy looking straight forward. And we do this for a couple of minutes in this insane 3-shot. And then all of a sudden, he snaps out of it, and he just looks over at me, and he goes, nice shirt. Somewhere there's a canopy missing on an Italian restaurant. That was the story.
Did you did you get nervous when you would do these early shows? Would you get nervous?
Yeah, I get pretty nervous.
Yeah?
You?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always nervous. I'm nervous when I'm not doing shows.
You are?
I'm just nervous all the time now.
Well, I'm
Something's
nervous
happened to
all
me.
the time, too, but I bet that people would think you and I weren't nervous. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because I would think that maybe you wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would think you wouldn't be.
Yeah. I kind of think you wouldn't be.
Well, you can't judge a book by its cover,
Yeah.
right? Except
well,
Mein Kampf.
Yeah. The swastika and the black leather binding kind of gives it away a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.